Hello everyone, this is Club 10M Plus's exciting new podcast that's here for you. We are all about stories, new developments and learning about individuals. Our hope is that you will join us every week to hear about our distinguished guests. We hope to inspire you, bring you laughter and make you reflect. Our guests come from all walks of life and primarily they want to share their stories. Not sure about you, but I love a good story. So Club 10M Plus have devoted their time to creating these podcasts, to sharing great ideas and stories and much more. So tune in every week to make sure that you don't miss out. It could be you next week. Want to know more? We want to hear your stories. So sign up and be our next guest. And welcome everyone again this morning to another edition of Pitch to the Panther. More importantly, my guest today is Niraj Kapur, and I'm going to hand over to him because he is phenomenal in sales and his history and background. Well, I can't do it any justice. So over to you, Niraj. Tell me all about it.
That's very kind of you, Krista. Hi, everybody. My name is Niraj. I'm a LinkedIn top voice in sales and a Salesforce sales influencer of 2021 and 2022. I've never actually liked the word influencer until I became one. Now I think it's a great word because when people think of influencer, they think of people outside their Porsches and their sports cars. I don't have a sports car, just so you know. I don't have 7 figures a year, but I live a very fulfilled life. And I spent my life in sales. I left Northern Ireland in Belfast 1992 because there was nothing to do, literally nothing to do back then. And I came to London and I had no qualifications. And the only jobs I could get back then with no qualifications was being a builder or working in an office. And because I don't like the cold, I took an office job and I started off the very bottom in sales, worked my way to middle management, and then lost my job in the recession and worked my way to the top. And that was kind of how the journey went.
Okay, so that's a ping pong. I mean, did you even realize that you were going in that direction and sales was going to be your forte? Or did you kind of go, well, actually, I've got to make some strategic change here? And how am I going to change? And what am I going to change?
Most people who get into sales do it because they want to earn extra money. I was 22 years old. At that age, all you care about is extra money. So you can go out, go to the pub, go on nice holidays, buy nice clothes. That's what you want at 22 years old. And so for me, sales was just a job to make money. And that's what it was for quite a long time. And then I got married quite young and became a father quite young. So all of a sudden, sales wasn't a job anymore. It became something very important to me because my wife and my daughter became my world. And so
Mm-hmm.
sales, I went from being just slightly above average through hard work and through caring about my customers to being well above average through incredibly hard work and a desire to do better because I had a strong why. And that's why if you want to succeed at anything in life or change anything in life, you got to have a strong purpose and you
Mm-hmm.
got to have a strong why. And then I got headhunted by the Guardian newspaper group in 2006. And this was them launching new events in social media and mobile downloads. And back in 2006, everybody, including me, hadn't a clue what that meant. So the next few years was a joy meeting people at Facebook and BT and AOL and Yahoo back in the days when those names meant something, you know, and it was just fascinating dealing with them. It really was. And in the next 4 or 5 years, I learned so much about digital media and the digital world and working with marketing people, not just salespeople. And again, that was part of my growth. And then, unfortunately, the recession hit. Everybody I knew lost their job. And all of a sudden, I have more change happening. So every 5 or 6 years of my life, there's always massive change. And when change happens, you have two choices. You can complain about it, whine about it, achieve nothing, and suffer from depression, or you get out of your comfort zone and just come back even stronger. And unfortunately, I didn't really have the emotional intelligence or the awareness at the time to deal with it very well. And I went in a bit of a downward spiral of self pity. And I wish I dealt with it differently. And I was very lucky because I had a brilliant wife, a brilliant daughter, and a very dominating Indian father who sat me down saying, look, you're suffering from a midlife crisis, sort yourself out. And they really got me into personal development, which is something I never really knew about before or even cared about. Because I
Sure.
didn't enjoy reading books at school. Why did I enjoy reading books as an adult? It made no sense to me. So I went to the bookshop and I started reading books on personal development. And I read books by Tony Robbins and by Jim Rohn and by Jack Canfield and all these really amazing people I'd never heard of before. And all of a sudden, I started learning all these new skills I didn't know about. Like, you're 100% responsible for your own responsibility. Because I always blamed other people. Or,
It's
the
the
secret of
government. It's the
it's the
government.
truth.
Sorry.
It was always the government's fault, always my father's fault, and very occasionally my wife's fault. It was never my fault. And all of a sudden, I started learning all these things. And Tony
Mm.
Robbins always says success leaves clues. So I'm looking at all these successful people and I start behaving like them. I start reading like them. I start going to the gym. I start changing my life. I start becoming a giver. And all of a sudden, I became not just a sales executive, but a sales manager. And within a year, I became a global sales manager, and my career just skyrocketed. And it was just the next 5 years were the best of my life, really. And I was
Amazing. And
so grateful.
is that because you hit rock bottom and realized you had to change? And what, that drive, and like you say, you have to have that why, don't you?
You
So,
do. Look, change is very difficult.
mhm.
Everybody finds change difficult. Whether you're successful or unsuccessful, change is difficult. And unfortunately, a lot of people have to hit rock bottom, the worst point of their life, which is terrible, but that's true. I mean, even this morning, I spoke to two clients and they both wanted to work with me. But the look on their faces were, oh God, this is too expensive. And I said to them, okay, I've dealt with clients 6 months ago who said the exact same thing. 6 months later, their lives haven't progressed, their lives haven't changed, which means their lives have got worse because they can't make a decision because they're terrified. And you've got two choices. You can invest in me or even invest in somebody else, but please make the change. And all they could think about was, oh my God, 900 quid for coaching. No, I can't afford that. And I guarantee you in 6 months' time, they will not have progressed their careers. They will not have gotten anywhere. They will have gotten worse because people are terrified of investing in change. And for me, it was actually hitting rock bottom before I can get back to the top again. And
That's
those
an
5 years at
interesting
the top were the best.
That is an interesting point there, about investing in change. I just want to pick you up on that because people always say, "Oh, I can't afford this, I can't afford that, I haven't got enough resources or time." There's all, isn't it kind of self perpetuating? Because if you don't actually invest in yourself, be it time, be it effort, be it money, that you end up spiraling down anyway. So
You do.
so why not spend that time to make the changes you need in your life? And that's not just me, that's everybody, but more so when you're spiraling down. But I mean, is it because we bury our heads in the sand, we don't look up? In your experience, you've been there, done it. So how was it for you on that point?
The change was difficult because financially I was investing heavily in books, even spending £30 a month on books, like £30 a month. It's not much, but it was a start. Then I started investing in courses. And that would be 300, £400. Like, whoa, that's a lot of money. I mean, looking back, it's so small now, but back then it was huge. And then I started investing in coaching, and all of a sudden, coaching costs you thousands of pounds. I'm like, whoa, thousands of pounds. But what happened was, it's good to start off small, Krista, and see improvements. Then you invest more and you see improvements. Then you invest even more. And now I don't mind. Now I spend approximately 750 to £850 a month. That's almost $1,000 a month on myself, whether it's working with my sales coach. Every quarter, I work with a speaking coach. Every month, I spend about £100 on books. I read one book a week now, not one book a month, a book a week. I'm a massive reader. And all these things combined, plus surrounding myself with very good people, means things are going well for me in June 2022, where the world is really struggling right now. And people are going through a lot of confusion and panic about the cost of pretty much everything. And I'm very empathetic towards that. At the same time, it hasn't affected my business because I am moving with the times. I don't let times affect me anymore. When people say there's a recession on, I said, yeah, I heard about it. I chose not to take part. And that was advice my coach gave me because, Niraj, don't take part in it. It doesn't exist. get on with your life. And it's fantastic advice because it means I'm not spending all my day going, oh my God, people have no money. People do have money out there. They're just being a bit more cautious than usual. That's all.
Absolutely. I think give us one nugget that we can actually hold on to that you would advise to somebody right now. What would be the one thing you would say?
Oh, there's so many things. I'm trying to think of one.
All right, give us
Okay.
a couple.
If you don't invest in yourself,
Okay.
why would anybody invest in you? That's such an important thing to think about. And most people don't give this any change. If you don't invest in yourself, why would anybody invest in you?
That is amazing.
That's the most powerful thing I can say.
I honestly think that is so powerful. I'm tingling because it's like, wow, that is so true. And it's almost like that belief in yourself. If you don't believe in yourself, why would anyone else? It shows time and time again in people's attitudes and the way they come across, and everyone else's problems is their problems. In fact, if they actually stopped and said, what am I doing to change that? I think the world would be in a different place. And I love what you've said today. I really appreciate it. And thank you for your time. It's been an amazing 10 minutes. And Niraj, I'm going to have you on again if that's okay. Because you've got so much wisdom there that we can all learn from. Thank you so much. And I'll say goodbye. Bye.
Thank you so much for your time, Krista. All the best.
Bye.
Hello everyone, this is Club 10M Plus's exciting new podcast. Let's hear for you. We are all about stories, new developments and learning about individuals. Our hope is that you will join us every week to hear about our distinguished guests. We hope to inspire you, bring you laughter and make you reflect. Our guests come from all walks of life and primarily they want to share their stories. Not sure about you, but I love a good story. So Club 10M Plus have devoted their time to creating these podcasts, to sharing great ideas and stories and much more. So tune in every week to make sure that you don't miss out. It could be you next week. Want to know more? We want to hear your stories. So sign up and be our next guest.